I'm back, bitches. Welcome to BB on Blast. It's just me on my own, I'm afraid, but only you can decide if I'm funny or not. Basically, it's either this or nothing, so I guess you can like it a little bit. But I started off BB18 and I thought, fuck it, I'm going to finish it because I've bloody well enjoyed it and I want to talk about it. And I've not been on Twitter because I've been so far behind. At times I was like a month behind. And the only way I've sort of been catching up is on podcasts and stuff. So I'm kind of doing it all retrospectively as usual, but even more so than usual. Now I'm recording this on my phone and I can pause it, but I'm going to try and just keep going as much as possible. But if you do hear like a pause and me sounding a bit different, it's because I've fucked up basically. Did I say I'm going to laugh at my own jokes? I probably am. I don't think they're going to be that funny though. So looking back over the season, so I heard a lot of stuff of people going, oh, it's not been a very good series, it's been this, it's been that, moaning about it basically. But I beg to differ. Even throughout the whole thing, even when like allegedly it was going wrong, I enjoyed it. I've heard a lot of people say like, oh, Paulie wasn't a good villain, he wasn't fun to watch. I thought he was an amazing villain. I don't give a fuck that Frank and fucking Vanessa's sister went out early. Who gives a shit? Boring anyway. So let's have a quick look back at some of the people and see who was a lot of casting duds as per usual. But there were some good ones. A few good ones did go early, I must admit. So in my gone too soon section, I'd say definitely Glenn. Goes without saying. Josiah. He was amazing. He should have gone a lot further. It's funny if you think back to who was in Big Sister. It was Paul, Victor, Jose and Zakia, wasn't it? That was quite like a good alliance actually, and with Davon in it as well. It's a shame they couldn't hold it together. Not that that was an alliance. What the fuck was that? What even was that? Freakazoids, Category 4. What was that? It was some twist or something, wasn't it? Do you remember when... Do you remember the roadkill competition? I like the roadkill. I heard a few people slagging off roadkill, but I thought it was quite funny. It was definitely had a BB Australia sort of a feel to it. So, yeah, we could have got a bit more out of Tiffany, I suppose. But to be honest, I've seen enough crying and bleating for one series from her sister. It's not that interesting. In my sort of why files, like why the fuck did these people get cast, I'd say Bridget. I mean, I know she's a feminist, but come on. When she's like, oh, I'm a feminist, shut the fuck up. And I am a feminist, so whatever. Zakia, oh God, yeah, she needs a section of her own. Bronte, oh, maths. Corey, oh God, how did he make it so far? I was so happy when he finally got evicted. Oh my God, it's literally like dragging like a crash test dummy along to the final with you. He's so fucking boring. I know he was a sleepwalker, but how many times did he actually sleepwalk? In fact, I only heard him sleep talk. I didn't even hear him sleep fucking walk. So he was just awful. Absolutely dreadful casting. Shit. Of the returnees, well, and we said in the first podcast, like, I have no idea why they chose those people. Frank's most notable contribution to the game was smacking Davon on the arse and then saying, I do that to my grandma all the time. God, that feels like a long time ago. It's like fucking Cody's dad all over again. Yeah, Davon, oh God, yeah. Should have been Jason Roy. James, pranks, oh God, boring. Nicole, oh my God, why? Just so bad on so many levels, which I'm sure we can get into further, but why? What's her name? Robin Cass? I'm sure you're not listening to this, but if you are, why? What did she see in Bridget, Bronte? Zakia could have been good, admittedly, and Corey. I would love to know. And the other thing about Corey, Nicole going on about how good looking he is all the time. He is absolutely disgusting. He looks like the most bland fucking... He looks like if someone's carved a fucking face into a tree. He is not good looking. He is absolutely revolting. I can't fucking stand him. He's no personality. He also threw a goat onto the fire. He should be thrown out of the house for that. Well, actually, he shouldn't. But still, gross. And the fact he thought that was a funny story to tell is disgusting. Also, he's in the closet. But anyway, he's just like good looking. He is not good looking. Hayden, who Nicole went out with last series, actually was good looking. And when they showed him in that clips thing a while back, he looked even nicer now. This Corey, ugh. And what did she get? Oh, I didn't even know guys like him even existed. Oh, oh my God. Have you ever been outside your own fucking front door, Nicole? Seriously. He is just wrong in every single way. Gross. But moving on. Oh my God, I'm getting aerated by myself. This is good. So good TV. I thought Paulie was good TV. Because Cody was so shit. And it's like, why would you have someone from Cody's family in the house if it wasn't going to be Cody's dad? I mean, come on. He must be a shoot-in for next series. When does that start? Like tomorrow or some shit. And I thought Paulie was like Cody, but with a personality, like an uglier Cody with a personality. I think he was very entertaining to watch. Obviously, he was 100% cunt, but that was what was good about him. Paul, your boy. It's friendship all the way for me and Paul. I like Paul from the start. Everyone's like, I like Paul from the start. I did like Paul from the start. I like Paul all the way through. I used to shit myself when he used to go on the block. And, friendship all the way for your boy Paul. Pissed. Oh, God, I was so happy when he made it to Final 3. If he'd been gone, imagine... Oh, my God. Imagine if it had been James, Nicole and Corey in the Final 3. Oh, my God. That would be even worse than when the Exterminators made it to the Final 3. Do you remember their little hand signal? Thank God for Paul. Paul basically saved this series. The series has been all about the PP. It actually has. Paulie and Paul were like the only entertaining things that actually happened. And then the other people who were not duds, but not my favourites, but good. Victor, he actually did have a traditional Big Brother journey, because he come in, he was like a douche. He was like, do you remember he like tried to like put the frighteners on Nicole or something at the start, and they were just like, get him out. And then he went, then he came back, then he went, then he came back. And he just kept trusting people and just kept believing that what they were saying was true. And he just seemed like, by the end, like a genuinely like lovely guy. And his relationship with Paul was really nice. And I'm glad that they didn't like have to turn on each other. I don't think they really turned on each other. Actually, no one really turned on each other, did they? Because they didn't have to, because Natalie did turn on James a little bit. And Corey kind of went, and then it was these three left at the end. So it was quite interesting that no one really had to do a proper backstab, because now with the Final 3, no one's going to be that shocked to be cut at the Final 2, are they? Because none of them have got like a strong allegiance to each other. So they're all like, oh yeah, got your back, Final 2. But actually it's like, it's not, no tears are going to be shed about who gets to the final, except for by me, if it's not Paul. So yeah, I thought Victor was a good lesson in how someone who you think is pretty bland can actually develop over time to become an interesting character. Natalie, I did enjoy. I enjoyed her part in Paulie's downfall, particularly. I find her a bit cloying, obviously. Oh, Jamesy. That's quite annoying. But I did like her as a character, and I enjoyed seeing the Jay Goody effect happen to her in the house, in that she... That's so mean. Put on about a 3 stone. She was still cute. She looked really, really cute. And then, Big Meech. Big Meech is such a weird casting choice, because, I don't know, she's such a strange person. And for, like, the first few weeks, like, she just didn't seem to do anything. And even, like, when everyone started getting behind her, what did she do? Fucking cry, and that's about it. But I just liked how weird she was. She was, like, a really weird, strange person. And she wasn't... you can't look back on another series and go, oh, yeah, she's like this person, she's like that person, because she isn't. So that's what I liked about Big Meech. I think that's everyone. Let's have a look. Yeah, it is. Okay, I've just spoke for 9 minutes flat. That's not bad, is it? But I need to have a drink, and I'm going to pause it for the metaphobics. And I'm just going to check the sound as well. I shouldn't really say that. It's not very professional, is it? I could cut that bit out there, couldn't I? Because I know how to pause it on my phone, which I never knew how to do on my computer. See, I'm learning. I might cut that bit out. I'm not sure. Let's see. So I didn't cut that bit out because I think it's funnier to keep it in. I mean, it's not like I'm like in the studio here, is it? I'm surprised one of my cats hasn't knocked my drink over or brought a mouse in by now, whatever. So I started making notes because I started only thinking I was going to do this podcast probably about a week ago. So my notes are not that I'm actually going to talk about things that happen in the episode specifically, but my notes are quite biased towards the things that happened in the past week. So if I'm quoting some recent things, that's why. And you know what my memory's like, so well. So I liked it when Michelle said Nicole was the most boringest HOH ever. That was good. Have you noticed how shrill Big Meech's voice is? It's like, I can't think of anything she says. My impression of her is not that good, but it is proper, glass-shatteringly shrill. And also, she coined Vomit Crybaby, which I think is fine, but I think you got to give props to Vomit Cry Wank, which was coined by Winston in BB18 a couple of years ago. What's better, a Vomit Crybaby or a Vomit Cry Wank? It's probably a Vomit Cry Wank, isn't it? So thanks, Winston, for paving the way. I haven't actually spoken about Celebrity Big Brother UK this year, and that's probably for the best. Did you notice also Michelle's attractiveness sort of fluctuated from week to week? No, it didn't. It actually rose because she went in looking quite minging, and then she became like she had like hair extensions, like she had a tan. It was weird. I don't know what happened. It's like the opposite of what happened to Natalie, really. Nicole strategically voted to evict Michelle. Nicole, just because you put the word strategically in a sentence doesn't mean you actually did anything strategic. The fact that you're even in there in the final three is purely because you hid behind that fucking log Corey, fucking goat botherer. You did absolutely nothing strategic. Am I being unfair to Nicole? Did she do something? Maybe she did and I just couldn't tell because of all the whining. Yeah, so when Michelle went, she took Pablo out of her, which was Paulie's rubber ducky. That's a bit mean, isn't it? It wasn't Paulie's rubber ducky, it was Paul's rubber ducky. Whose fucking wise idea was it to have someone called Paul and someone called Paulie in the house and have them get the same haircut? So we've got to do a bit of a eulogy for Paulie now. Paulie was like the 100% airtime for about 4 weeks in a row. He was just like smashing through the housemates. He was controlling every single HOH. He was just like, he did think he was the new Derek Levasseur. Although I know it was like the worst time because it was like, oh, Paulie. And then when he had his downfall, it was so like delicious. And like, I've been really enjoying listening to like Rob Has a Podcast. And then the fucking night that Paulie's downfall came, they had fucking Derek Levasseur on Rob's podcast, and of course he's not going to say anything bad about Paulie. So all like the impressions of Paulie and all the fun, all the fun to be had at Paulie's expense was like totally deflated by Derek being on there. So thanks for that, Derek. Not only did you ruin your entire season, you ruined my podcast listening experience after that as well. Fuck you. And I did hear on Big Brother Gossip, I'm just giving a shout out to the podcast who've given me all the material for my podcast. But hey, they're all American. This is an English point of view, you know. Yeah, Big Brother Gossip said that Paulie went in the toilet once and like unwrapped all the sanitary towels and stuck them to the toilet door. I mean, I know he's a misogynist, but that is taking it a bit too far. Naughty pee-pee. So yeah, I know probably... Oh, I know from listening to podcasts and stuff, and just from obviousness, that it wasn't just Natalie that took down Paulie's game, but I like the way it was shown like that it was just like him being such a disgusting, sexist pig, like completely blew up his own game, just because he couldn't keep his fucking mouth shut. And I absolutely loved it when Natalie went to Zakia and told her everything, and then it was the whole fake tit stuff, and it was magical. Even when they showed, because I just watched that recap show that they just did, even when they showed like Paulie like digging out Natalie and doing the slow hand clap and everything, like my blood was like proper boiling, like I was so angry. It was such a good because so often in Big Brother US, you just don't get the comeuppance. Like, the baddie just gets away with it, and then your favourite gets evicted. Like, your boy Paul would be out, like, in week 3 normally. But this was, like, actually, like, the baddie was actually getting what he deserved, and it was so good. It was just so enjoyable, and it was just what we've been waiting for. Also, the way Paulie treated Zakia. I mean, I know I'm preaching to the choir here, but Jesus Christ. And then she's trying to fuck him still in jury. I mean, no wonder Davon's so fucking angry. He had the power of veto.